various laws or protocol observed. And to you all, our dear delegates to this conference, 10 years of Laudato Si, where is Africa, I take this opportunity to once again warmly welcome you to Bethany Land Institute. I would like to welcome in a special way Your Eminence Cardinal Peter Turkson, who traveled all the way from the Vatican and arrived here yesterday. So he is representing not just the Vatican, he is representing the Pope. And I'm going to tell you also a little bit of other information that I think makes this a very special welcome and day. I know there's going to be a formal introduction to the Cardinal, but I learned yesterday as we were coming, and I took two things that were very, very important. The first one is that last Sunday, Your Eminence, His Eminence, celebrated 50 years as a priest. Last Sunday. So congratulations, Your Eminence. We have been so much inspired by your pastoral leadership over these 50 years, by your leadership in various continents, and especially in relation to the cause of the care of our common home. And we know how instrumental your leadership was and still is in Laudato Si. A number of things will be said, more will be said about that. But we welcome you in a special way here to Bethany Land Institute. Welcome your grace, welcome your lordship to your place. You are not strangers here because this is your place, but thank you for honoring this conference with your presence. I welcome you all, our dear delegates, to this conference marking 10 years of Laudato Si. A very monumental document, as I said yesterday in my opening remarks. Where is Africa 10 years after Laudato Si? What has been done in Africa? What is going on? What has been the reception and the impact of this document of Laudato Si? That's why we come together for this conference, ready to take stock, to have a conversation, again in the spirit of the African tradition, in the spirit of Laudato Si, as we say that we mentioned the word conversation 25 times, to have a conversation about our common home. That is the whole purpose of this conference. But also to honor the legacy of Pope Francis. As we were preparing the conference, Pope Francis died, so we want to take an opportunity at this conference to really honor his leadership and his legacy, and to thank him for providing us with that urgent call to care for our common home. 10 years, but this document speaks to us in a powerful way. Pope Francis passed away on Easter Monday, but he still speaks to us in a powerful way, inviting us, urging us, beckoning us, praying for us to continue the journey of the care for our creation. So we're very, very much honored that not only His Eminence is here, Grace, His Lordship, but also the Nunciate here, the Pope's representative to Uganda, is here. So Father George, Monsignor George, again, most welcome. We are gathered here at Bethany Land Institute, at a village in Iluelo, in Nandere. The village, as we said yesterday, is usually a place of backwardness, primitivity. But this village, like many African villages, and again talking to Cardinal, His Eminence yesterday as we were driving, I said, can you imagine this in Ghana? And he said, for all I know, Nandere could be Ghana. So there's something about the villages that in a way are similar. But this also, as a village, is not unlike a village in Jesus' time called Bethany, where the poor, the homeless, the immigrant strangers to Jerusalem lived. Not very far from Jerusalem, very near Jerusalem, but that's where they lived. And that's where Jesus always stayed. The village that is appropriately called Bethany, house of the poor. So our village here is not unlike the village in Jesus' time, where Jesus was there. But in that village in the Gospels, you also have these incredible stories of hospitality, Martha, of Mary listening, intimacy, of the sickness and resurrection of Lazarus. We also have the story of Mary. After Lazarus has been raised from the dead, Martha throws a banquet. Mary is there, and Mary does the anointing. That's according to the Gospel of John. And brings this expensive perfume and pours it on the feet of Jesus. And Judas looks and says, oh, what a waste. This woman doesn't have any economic sense. This money, so much money. And Jesus said, leave her alone. And we are told that from this anointing, the whole house was filled with a new fragrance. The whole village of Bethany was filled with a new aroma, a new fragrance that breaks forth from Mary's anointing. We would like to see a similar fragrance breaking out in the villages of Africa. We want to see a similar revolutionary movement that begins at Bethany. Because Bethany is also a place of mission. In the Gospel according to Luke, Jesus goes a short distance toward Bethany. And there his disciples meet him after the resurrection. And he says, all authority and all power has been given to me. Go therefore to the whole world. We want our efforts here at Bethany to go actually to the whole world. Our ambition, our goal, Your Eminence, is to transform rural communities. Not just here in Nandere, not just here in Ruel, the whole of Africa and beyond Africa, as the invitation in the story of Bethany is to the whole world. That revolution, that bold cultural, ecological revolution that Pope Francis talks about. But in a typical Bethany way, we always begin small. But we begin well. And we begin now. So that's why we have started here. And this year also, we have inaugurated a new model for the parish. We call it Integral Ecology Model Parish. The whole diocese, the whole country, eventually, to become models of integral ecology. So once again, my dear friends, welcome to this Bethany, this village. And at this moment, I want to invite our Bishop, Bishop Lawrence Mukasa, to come forward and welcome the people and say a few words of introduction. Thank you, Bishop Lawrence Mukasa.